everyone. Welcome back to Chicks Chat. Once again, my name is Jackie Budrick, and I'm here with Jen Nudo. Jen, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Of course, to have people hear a little bit about you and everything that you're up to these days.
Okay, amazing. Hi, everyone. I am Jen Nudo. I own a virtual functional medicine practice called The Wellness Workup, where I help people find the root cause of whatever symptoms they may be experiencing. I run functional diagnostic labs and put together holistic treatment plans focused on diet, nutrition, um, supplements, and lifestyle advice. I'm also very involved with using peptides and GLPs when appropriate. And yeah, any other fun things we can think of.
I'm obsessed, and I feel like right now we're in a very fun time for just functional health and wellness, and everyone is just looking for the next best thing for them and longevity, aging, just getting stronger and healthier. So this is so exciting.
Yes. Yes to all of the above.
So, how did you? I guess we could just start with maybe early career. Like, how have you gotten into this space?
Yes.
What's your background in it? All of that good stuff.
Yes. So I went to chiropractic school many years ago, and I had a chiropractic practice that I loved. And when I decided to move to Nashville, I sold that practice and really was kind of looking for something a little bit different. I had had so many women come into my practice with issues with hormones and symptoms not related to what I was doing with chiropractic. And I just had this desire to help them. And I started seeing a functional medicine doctor who was also a chiro, and she really helped me manage some of the hormone problems I was having, some of the thyroid issues I was having through just holistic measures. And it made such a huge difference. She really changed my life, and I kind of decided to go in that direction. So I got a functional medicine certification and opened this practice about a year ago.
Oh my gosh. Amazing, amazing. And so, how has that been? That switch from chiropractor to functional wellness? How has that been intertwined in your career and whatnot?
Yes. It's easier on my body, so that's great. A lot of overlap with all of the anatomy, physiology, understanding of the nervous system, how all the processes and systems in the body work, with just a little more focus on not so much the physical medicine, but more internal.
So with chicks and everything, we talk about weightlifting and stuff, and just hormones, and specifically it being in high schools and colleges. Obviously, women's bodies are changing
Yes.
ever so much.
Yes.
And with the strain and new environment, new foods, new people, whatever. What are some of the things that you've noticed just with hormonal imbalances and movement? How have those been affected, and how could you go about trying to keep a more balanced way of life?
Yes. So the thing I see most often is women overtraining and underfueling.
Yeah.
So yes, that's a big thing, and a lot of people don't even know they're doing it. They're like, "Oh, well, I only do my HIIT class 3 days a week, and I, intermittent fast sometimes, but sometimes I forget to eat, and I try to stay like 1,000 calories, or I'll do, like just like a 7 mile run, and I'm like, okay, okay, so we're doing exactly what I thought. Yes. So really helping women find a workout program that works in sync with their body and then really fueling their body. So, and it really is person to person dependent. Some people can thrive in different situations that other people can't. So, really learning that person and how their body works and tailoring workouts and nutrition plans to them.
So going into like that, choose or nurturing and not nurturing, that's the wrong word. Choosing a certain workout plan dependent on person to person, because right now I feel like we're also in a big umbrella term for most workouts. Like
Yes.
if even just looking at a guy's workout versus a girl's workout, I know we all say like, oh, that's the same, you can do all of that, but depending on your cycle,
Yes.
changes, your body is fluctuating with all the hormones and just I don't know, different factors. How do you go about syncing your workout?
Yes. So if you want to kind of look at um, the cycle as a whole and kind of follow the cues of it, I think it's really great and it's a great starting point. I tell everyone to give it 2 months. Really try and work with your body, with your cycle, and see how it feels. And then we can make adjustments from there. So, some examples are during the menstrual phase when we're bleeding, it's more of a time to rest, recuperate, iron rich foods, red meat. Vitamin C is really important for iron absorption. So, pairing like a steak stir fry with peppers, great meal during the menstrual stage. And then coming into the follicular phase, our estrogen is rising. We kind of get a boost. We can lift heavy weights, harder workouts. Really want to prioritize fiber because that really helps detox the estrogen. Coming into ovulation, feeling really good. Side note, if you're single, great time to go on dates. I mean, this is when we're like confidence is at a peak.
Wait, I love this.
Like, yeah. I mean, there's nothing like ovulating for your mood. Like, we're feeling good. New workouts, heavier weights, just really like going after it. And then we kind of come down into our luteal phase. That's when we start to get maybe some of the PMS symptoms, a little more tired, bloating. So we can really more nourishing foods. Yoga, Pilates, kind of taking things a little bit slower coming into the start of the menstrual cycle again.
I think that's so interesting. Like, honestly, I didn't even really know the details behind all of that, and I don't think a lot of girls and women know. Like, no one talks about it. So I think what you do is obviously like it's
Yeah.
so important because
Yes.
why does no one talk about it?
I don't know. I don't know. It's cool when you look at the science and what's happening in your body and you're like, okay, let me try to work with my body. So, if you're 2 days before your period and you're beating yourself up that you don't want to do your intense workout, it's like, no, like look at what's happening in your body, and just give yourself a break. Be like, no, we're gonna do yoga today because that's the flow that accompanies it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I also think it's so important even now, like a lot of high schoolers, like they don't know about all of this. It's all hush hush under the table, especially if you're an athlete trying to get recruited to go to college or you're playing super high level and you lose your period and then all of these things that are coming about. How do you say we normalize just talking about all of this? And I know that's a tough question because this is going up against many systems and years of be quiet, don't talk about it.
Absolutely. I do feel like the newer generations are they're much better with their communication than like my generation even was. So I do feel like that's on their side being more open. I feel like there's a lot of resources now on Instagram and TikTok kind of talking about it. But I encourage them to talk to their friends and talk to their parents and any, trusted adults in their life, doctors, and just yeah, make it a point to say it out loud and take in the information and then do your own research on things too. But that overtraining and undernourishing is so huge. So if you ever lose your period, you need to talk to someone because it's very important we get it back.
No, honestly. Another question that I feel like a lot of girls are always asking about is with birth control because that definitely changes up everything.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of like TikToks where it's like you start dating like this really like I don't know small weak little man and then you get off birth control and then you're like I'm not attracted.
Yes. Isn't that fascinating? I think that's one of the like craziest things.
Right.
When I learned that, I was like, oh wow, but it makes sense because birth control kind of like dulls your hormones.
Okay.
So then if you go off of it and suddenly you have these hormones like surging in and out, like it does make sense. Yeah, birth control is tough because it can be so life-saving and life-changing for some women. But you really have to understand when you're on it, what's going on with your body now, as opposed to what it would be like without it. So again, working with what's happening versus against it and really understanding.
Yeah, totally. I guess I mean, there's also a lot of talk about different versions of birth control. Could we go into like the difference between like you on the pill versus like maneuvering versus IUD? and like how those affect maybe your movement skills slash whatever. And obviously that's very umbrella, but just like an overview.
Right. So yeah, they all kind of work a little bit different. A lot of times, if you are going to utilize birth control, sometimes you have to cycle through them and see what works best for your body. But it's really just finding one that you feel good on. And then it is when it's coming to like the training standpoint, since your body doesn't go through the natural cycle, it is you kind of just have to find a rhythm on things. So I do think it's important when you're feeling like pretty consistent day to day because of the hormones being consistent. It's important that you again like don't overtrain and undereat because there's no cues telling you kind of to stop and rest or yes, let's go. So I think it's really important to put together a really balanced program. And then still keeping with there's different foods eat at different points of the cycle, kind of making sure you're still kind of getting all those foods and you're not just focused on one food group throughout the month, one like macro goal, one workout. I think it's important to keep switching it up.
I think that's a really important avenue to go down because a lot of, and obviously I'm also stereotyping, but you see a lot of like what I eat in a day.
Yes.
And it's the dinner is always like chicken and rice, which
Yes.
is a very, I hate to say it, it's a very man meal
Yes.
because their hormones are
Yep.
not the same as ours.
Correct.
We go through these different stages. So maybe we go into you need to have variety in your
Yes.
meals dependent on your cycle, what you're doing, what you're training for. And why is that?
Yes, just so important to cover the all kind of the nutrients. And then also we've been really hearing protein was like having such a moment the past couple years, and now we're kind of switching to fiber, and fiber's getting like the glow up it deserves. So I've really been talking to my clients about prioritizing fiber. So really trying to look at your plate and just making sure you are balanced with you have protein source, fiber source, complex carb, veggies, some fruits for your desserts or incorporated into your meal. Just kind of looking at your plate at every meal and seeing if you can hit kind of all the groups. And then it'll kind of all come together. It doesn't have to be so complicated with the counting and the measuring. It's really just eat whole foods, look at your plate. Can I count the four things I need? And just make your meals from there. So the chicken and rice is fine, but like let's add some broccoli, like maybe like a scoop of kimchi, like getting kind of beefing it up a little bit, like some blueberries for dessert, maybe some Greek yogurt. So yeah.
All right, let's go into peptides.
Okay.
This is a big one. I feel like
Yes.
That's really also getting a lot of
Yes.
time. What are they? What do they do? Are they approved? Which ones should you stay away from at the moment? All of that.
Yes. So peptides are compounds that work synergistically with your body to produce results from better hair, skin, and nails to weight loss to muscle gain to recovery, better sleep. I mean, I think they're the future of longevity medicine. They are very cool. Um, yes. So then we come into the who's making them, where are they coming from, are they approved? So I work with a company who only uses kind of the approved peptides. They're from pharmacies that are the highest in quality standards, third party tested. So I feel really confident with the peptides I suggest to people from this particular company. And then I wouldn't really suggest just going online and ordering peptides because we don't know where they're coming from. And there are a lot of like off market peptides, and maybe they're fine, or maybe you like grow a third arm at some point. Like I don't know, right? So I really stick with what I know has been tested, approved, and we feel good about. Yes. So those peptides, literally, if you want if you have a goal of something, you want to help something, lose weight, like there's usually a peptide that will correlate to help you. It's not a miracle. It's not a you skip everything else and take a peptide. It's just in addition to what you're doing, it can be so helpful.
Interesting. I love that. I just met someone who's been using it for like knee pain.
Yes.
And I feel like that's huge,
Yes.
especially talking to like
Yeah.
my parents and all my other
Yes.
friends are like, oh, I wish I could go on this run with you, but my pain is just too
Yep.
outrageous. So I think that
Yeah.
is huge where
It
it can help.
it is absolutely huge. Great for inflammation, for tissue repair, um, re- um, recovery after workouts. Really great for that. So
Now, is it?
yeah,
It's only an injection form right now, or is
there are a couple you can take orally, but honestly, the research on the injections is better.
okay.
Yeah, because every time you take something, it has to obviously go through your digestive system, and stomach acid tends to degrade a lot of supplements and things you take orally. So I always recommend injecting them. It sounds scary. I swear you do it once and you're like, fine, like no big deal. So I always encourage people if if your barrier to entry is the injection, I promise you can get over it. It's not that scary. It's fine.
Is it like a once a month? Is it once?
So it depends. So like with the GLPs, usually once a week. I'm taking a peptide called CHXX, which is for hair, skin, and nails. So I'll inject that Monday through Friday for an 8-week cycle. Some you inject every other day. It really just depends on the peptide.
Okay. And so is it something after you reach the end of your 8 week cycle? Do you have to maybe go on a lower dose to continue that? Or is it like a once you're done, you're good
Yep.
to go?
So I will cycle off for a few months and then you pick it back up.
Okay.
So everything with them is kind of cyclical.
Gotcha.
Yep. So you'll do them for 8 to 12 weeks, then you'll cycle off for a few months. If you've, felt that it was helpful, kind of come back on. And then it's like with anything, it's a bit trial and error.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah.
Because that's the other thing I know that is scary for a lot of people. It's like once you go on it, like, are you able to get off of it?
Oh,
And does
yes.
it still maintain itself, or like once you reach that point, it's good to go, or so many little things.
Yes, and it's
and it's so unique.
right, exactly. So let's take the GLPs for example. So say you're on for 6 months, you're at goal weight and you decide to cycle off. You have to do the work then to maintain that weight. So in theory, yes, you're done with it if you do the work. So you you don't have to take it forever if you're willing to do the work on the other end. Or maybe you can kind of come down on your dose, spread it out if you're still having trouble regulating yourself. So kind of case by case depends.
So we went over how fiber is getting, the forefront of the meal world right now. GLPs have taken over social media. I feel like I get an ad every
Yes.
other
Yes.
swipe. Thoughts on just like how this has boomed so
Yes.
quickly and everything, and like where you see the future of it going.
Yes.
All of that.
I mean, it's incredible. It's really incredible. The science is amazing. When used correctly, I think they are one of the most amazing medical discoveries. When used incorrectly, you're getting crazy results. So used correctly, you can safely lose body weight or body fat. This is one of a program I run that I am so passionate about is helping people when they're on the GLPs to make sure you're getting enough protein, you're getting enough fiber, you're staying hydrated, you're taking supplements, so you're really mitigating all these like terrible side effects you hear about. And I just think it's so important if people are going to use them, let's use them correctly. Let's get the best results possible.
Yeah.
Like I don't want my clients going on GLPs and their hair's falling out and they're eating 500 calories a day. They have no energy. They're, so sick. I'm like, oh, it doesn't have to be like that at all.
Now, is it like a appetite suppressant?
So it's, yes. So makes you feel fuller quicker and kind of slows your digestion.
Okay.
And then really helps with inflammation is a
Gotcha.
really, really great one. And it helps you become more insulin sensitive as opposed to insulin resistance. So our country has a huge problem with insulin resistance because of all the processed food, all the junk, yeah, just all the garbage we like Americans eat.
Yeah.
And actually, there there are people, especially people who have women who have PCOS, that you can look thin and fit, but you can be very insulin resistant, and that really plays into fertility. So there's some really cool research coming out with the GLPs about how they're helping women to kind of fix this insulin resistance problem and in turn have better fertility outcomes.
Interesting.
Yes. So that is
Yeah.
very cool. Very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even realize
Yeah.
that.
There are really a lot of benefits beyond just weight loss.
Totally.
Yeah.
And you said that kind of a majority of, or not, maybe I misquote you, but majority of your clients come in for fertility reasons. How
Yes.
has that been just in your life? Like, how has that, I don't know, been so rewarding in cases?
It can be equally rewarding and frustrating because fertility is just so tough. But in the cases where things really work out, when we find an underlying thyroid problem, or we find PCOS, or a hormone problem, maybe really low progesterone, or estrogen's too high, or whatever the case may be, and we're able to really holistically balance the body to create the environment that a baby could thrive in. I mean, there is nothing more rewarding. So it's very cool. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll go back into your little business owner.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
How was that? What did you learn? What were your favorite and least favorite parts about it?
Ooh, all right. I would say my favorite is autonomy over my schedule. Being able to take a vacation is so fun. And then I guess the negative is no paid vacation. I like being able to do things theoretically when I want, but like, okay, but we're not getting paid for it as well. So that, but then also just getting to practice how I want. And I make the rules and I'm not following anyone else's blueprint. And I can spend 3 hours with the client if I want to. If that's what's necessary and that's what they need, then we're going to do it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So.
And then you moved from Chicago
I
to
did.
Nashville.
Yes.
How has the move been?
The move has been great. I love Nashville. I hope I'm here forever.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
It's such an incredible city, and I'm finding that people are really into their health. It's like I think we work hard, play hard here.
Yes.
Like people are very into their health and working out, and yeah, you see everyone going to Pilates Saturday morning, and we're Broadway by Saturday afternoon. Like I'm like, oh, I'm here for the balance. I love it.
Extreme balance.
Yes, I yes. Yes.
Because it's not just Pilates. It's Pilates when it's like 170 degrees
yes.
there, and then it's Broadway. I mean, you don't even need to explain the place.
Right. Right.
It has its own
we know. Everyone knows.
Everyone knows.
Yes.
Okay, so some final pieces of advice that you would give to women just either on their fitness journey or feeling a little bit lost in their health and wellness. How would you advise them to go through all of this?
Yes. Well, I would love to talk to any of you that are interested. Number one, yes, please. I think it's really great to talk to someone who can really help you customize plans based on your body, your physiology, your schedule, all of those points. But otherwise, I think really number one, tracking your cycle, seeing, tracking your mood, your hunger cues, energy, and then really trying to lay that with the suggested diet and exercise and just kind of start there as a blueprint. Just learn to start working with your body. And sleep. Sleep so important.
Sleep is so important. I don't think we get enough of that.
Yeah. So those are, if you want to, work on 2 things, I would prioritize sleep and then work with your body with your cycle.
Oh, amazing. Any final words that you'd like to share?
This has been so fun. I mean, these were my favorite topics. Like, I love this. And I hope everyone got on Wednesdays We Wear Pink.
Heck yeah, we're done. We'll have to do a part 2.
I love it.